Far in the forgotten corners of the Russian Far East lies a primal battleground sculpted by ice and stone. The Sikhote-Alin Wilderness. Here, the brief golden autumn is not a season of peace, but a desperate countdown. The ancient Korean pines surrender their last nutrient-rich cones to the frozen earth, fueling a frantic final feast for the wild boars and herds of deer below. But the illusion of abundance is short-lived. The towering white birch trees shed their leaves, stripping the landscape naked and exposing a vast, mountainous coliseum to a ruthless northern sky. Then, the true siege begins. The temperature plummets to a merciless -40 degrees. Great rushing tributaries of the Amur River freeze solid, transformed into silent highways of bone-white ice. The snow falls relentlessly, climbing toward a lethal 50-centimeter threshold. A biological death sentence that buries food and exhausts the strongest of hooves. In this unforgiving theater, where ordinary life is crushed into submission by the sheer weight of winter, survival requires more than mere instinct. It demands absolute evolutionary supremacy. Moving like a boreal shadow through the vertical white maze of the birch forest, a silent titan watches. He does not fear the frost, he commands it. The most colossal cat of the Northern Hemisphere. The undisputed tyrant of the frozen frontier. The late autumn sun rises reluctantly over the jagged peaks of Sikhote-Alin, breaking through the dense morning mist. High above the canopy, a golden eagle rides the freezing thermal currents. With a wingspan stretching over 2 meters and eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's, this apex avian predator acts as the eyes of the northern sky. From its aerial vantage point, the vast wilderness appears as a shifting tapestry of gold and deep green, a world racing against a ticking biological clock. On the forest floor, the grand architecture of the ecosystem is revealed. Through its supporting cast, among the dense thickets, a herd of Manchurian wapiti, the isibir, forages desperately. These are not ordinary deer. They are titans of the northern woodlands, with mature stags weighing up to 300 kilograms and bearing a crowning network of antlers that can span over 1 meter wide. Every movement of their massive hooves is a calculated effort to store energy before the true freeze. Nearby, the forest echoes with the aggressive grunting of wild boars. A mature male boar here is a living tank of muscle and fury, often exceeding 150 kilograms. Armed with razor-sharp, upward-curving tusks and a hide so thick it acts like natural armor, these beasts are highly unpredictable and dangerous to anything that crosses their path. Further in the shadows, a pack of gray wolves glides through the white birch trunks. In any other forest on Earth, these intelligent, cooperative pack hunters would be the undisputed masters of the woods. But here, they live a life of tense vigilance, moving like ghosts and suppressing their howls, constantly aware that they share this realm with a much larger solitary god. Because the true monarch of this vast 1,000 square kilometer empire has just awakened from his daytime slumber. He is the Amur tiger, one of the largest and most majestic big cats alive today. A mature male is a breathtaking specimen of evolutionary engineering, stretching over 3 meters from nose to tail and weighing an impressive 200 kilograms of dense, cold-adapted muscle. While history has recorded legendary giants of his lineage exceeding 300 kilos, today's emperors remain the most colossal cats of the Northern Hemisphere. As the afternoon light fades, the volatile northern weather shifts, unleashing a sudden, freezing rain that drenches the white birch trees until their bark gleams like polished bone. In this dark, wet environment, the tiger becomes entirely invisible. His magnificent coat, painted with deep black stripes over a pale orange canvas heavily accented with snowy white, is a masterpiece of disruptive camouflage. To the colorblind eyes of the foraging isabur and the wild boars, his massive silhouette dissolves perfectly into the vertical shadows of the birch trunks and the fragmented light of the forest floor. As the midnight air grows sharp, turning the rain into a fragile, biting frost, the solitary king begins his royal patrol. He approaches an ancient pine tree, rising on his immense hind legs to scratch his sigil deep into the bark, exposing his formidable physical reach. Here he deploys his signature weapon of territorial dominance. From specialized glands at the base of his tail, he sprays a concentrated cocktail of cold-resistant lipid pheromones. While ordinary scents would be instantly washed away by the freezing rain, or crystallized into oblivion by the sub-zero temperatures, these heavy chemical compounds are built to endure. They lock onto the frozen bark, resisting the brutal elements for weeks. For the traveling wolf packs sniffing the borders, this scent is an absolute psychological barrier. It is a declaration of total tyranny. The message written in the frozen air is clear. This land belongs to a solitary executioner, and the penalty for trespass is death. As November bleeds into December, the golden illusion of autumn is violently shattered. The northern sun becomes a distant, pale coin, barely scraping the horizon before plunging the valleys into darkness. The days shrink to just a few hours of dim, gray light, surrendered to a howling wind that carries the scent of Arctic ice. Temperatures plummet to a mind-numbing -40 degrees, a threshold where moisture freezes instantly on the eyelashes, and wood snaps like glass. Under this relentless assault, the geography of the Sikhote Alin undergoes a terrifying transformation. The mighty tributaries of the Amur River basin, once raging currents of white water, are choked by the frost. Slowly, they turn to solid stone, freezing into vast ribbons of thick, blue ice. Cascading waterfalls are paralyzed mid-fall, hanging from cliffs like giant, jagged pillars of crystal. For the resident wildlife, this sudden lockdown is a logistical nightmare. The giant of these woods, the 400-kilogram Amur moose, is forced to abandon the high ridges. Its towering frame and heavy hooves struggle against the freezing winds, forcing it to retreat into the deeper, sheltered river valleys, where it can anxiously forage on frozen willow and birch twigs. But where the rest of the ecosystem sees an icy prison, the tiger sees an open empire. While the freezing wind forces wolves to huddle in caves and deer to shiver in the thickets, the tiger remains completely unfazed. Nature has equipped him with remarkable insulation against the cold. His winter coat grows to a dense, insulating thickness of up to 10 centimeters on his underbelly. Beneath this luxurious fur lies a specialized 5-centimeter layer of dense belly fat. This unique thermal insulation allows the colossal cat to lie down and sleep directly on naked ice or frozen crust for hours at a time, without losing a single watt of core body heat. His core body temperature remains remarkably stable despite the Arctic freeze. More importantly, the freezing of the rivers activates his brilliant tactical intellect. Navigating a 1,000 square kilometer territory in deep winter is a mathematical equation of energy spent versus calories gained. Pushing through deep snowdrifts would quickly exhaust even his massive frame, burning precious energy that cannot be easily replaced. To solve this, the tiger turns the frozen landscape to his advantage. These newly formed ice rivers become his personal winter highways. With the currents frozen flat, he can march effortlessly through the heart of the mountains, covering dozens of miles in a single night. He also maps out the pre-broken trails left behind by human hunters, or the heavy migratory paths of the Izuber. By walking along these cleared corridors, the tiger optimizes every single stride, conserving his immense power for the moment it matters most. As the deep winter nights lengthen, the frozen rivers echo with the heavy, silent footsteps of a king who is completely at home in the dark. By January, the Sicotte Alin enters its most ruthless crucible. There are no storms today, only a quiet, blinding freeze under a cloudless blue sky. The harsh winter sun glares off the landscape, turning the vast wilderness into a reflecting desert of pure white. But beneath this beautiful facade lies a deadly trap. The snow depth has officially breached the critical 50-centimeter threshold. In the world of northern biology, this is the lethal line. Under the stark daylight, the forest becomes an open graveyard for the herbivores. The majestic Izuber stags, once proud and swift, flounder helplessly in the deep drifts, their heavy frames fully exposed to the sun. Their sharp hooves punch straight through the frozen crust, draining their vital stamina with every agonizing step. Nearby, a massive wild boar plows through a 1-meter wall of deep snow like a stalled tank. Under the clear sky, its short legs are entirely useless against the heavy barriers, trapping it in a slow-motion struggle for survival. But as the rest of the ecosystem fractures under the weight of the winter siege, the monarch steps into the bright sunshine. Where a human or a deer sinks and drowns in the snow, the tiger glides over the glittering surface with uncanny ease. Evolution has gifted him with a masterpiece of locomotion. A pair of living snowshoes. His massive paws possess specialized skin and thick, brush-like fur between the pads, allowing the toes to splay wide upon impact. This mechanical design perfectly distributes his 200-kilogram mass across the snow crust, keeping him safely above the lethal threshold. To move completely undetected across the open terrain, he employs a flawless technique known as perfect register walking. With absolute precision, the tiger places his hind paws exactly into the depressions made by his front paws. This calculated movement serves two vital purposes. It ensures that he never cracks the frozen ice crust underfoot, keeping his approach completely silent. More importantly, it saves up to 50% of his physical stamina, as his rear legs do not have to waste force breaking a new path through the white drifts. As the hunt intensifies, the tiger tracks his prey into a dense, sunlit thicket. Even in broad daylight, navigating this frozen maze of razor-sharp branches requires extreme care. Across his face, a hidden radar system activates. His highly sensitive whiskers, wired directly to dense clusters of nerve endings, detect microscopic changes in air pressure as he moves. This facial guidance system allows him to weave through the tangled undergrowth in absolute silence without a single twig snapping to warn his prey. Emerging back into the open valley, his eyes face the ultimate test. The punishing, blinding glare of the sun reflecting off the endless snow. While a human would be struck with snow blindness, the tiger's eyes are built for high-contrast tracking. His pupils adjust instantly, filtering the intense light and cutting through the glare. His vision acts as a master sensor for motion, completely isolating the distant, dark silhouette of the struggling Izuber stag against the blinding white landscape. Every frantic movement of the weakening prey is captured in hyper-definition. The target is locked. The distance is closing. And the ghost of the north is ready to strike. The gap closes to 30 meters. The tiger, utilizing the crisp daytime shadows of the white birch trees, positions himself for the final strike. Then the ambush triggers. With a terrifying explosion of kinetic energy, the 200-kilogram titan launches his assault into the bright morning sun. He accelerates instantly, pushing his massive body to a devastating short-distance sprint of 60 kilometers per hour across the slippery terrain. To break the prey's will before the physical impact, the monarch unleashes a devastating evolutionary weapon. He lets out a low-frequency roar, a wave of infrasound, cutting below 18 hertz. The powerful roar echoes through the frozen valley, sending a surge of instinctive alarm through the stag. Even in broad daylight, the stag hesitates for a split second, overwhelmed by instinctive fear, freezing its muscles and stealing its opportunity to escape. As the stag tries to break away across a treacherous sheet of river ice glistening under the afternoon sun, the tiger executes a high-speed maneuver that defies the laws of physics. His long, muscular tail kicks into action, functioning as a powerful balancing tool. By swinging this 1-meter rudder in the opposite direction of his momentum, the tiger balances his immense mass, allowing him to pull off a hyper-sharp cinematic turn on bare ice without wiping out or losing his footing. He collides with the prey. The closing argument is delivered by the executioner's jaw. Driven by massive, heavily adapted neck muscles, his short, wide skull clamps down with a crushing force of 1,000 psi. His 9-centimeter canine teeth easily puncture the thick hide, inflicting catastrophic damage to the deer's neck and upper spine. The struggle is over in seconds. But in the Sicote Alin, a tyrant's prize is never safe. The scent of fresh blood cuts through the crisp day air, drawing the attention of an equally desperate titan. Emerging from the sunlit thicket is a massive Ussuri brown bear. Woken early from hibernation by starvation, this 400-kilogram colossus is a mountain of raw fury, looking to hijack the tiger's kill. The tiger stands his ground in the bright sunshine, flattening his ears backward. As he does, he deploys a critical visual warning. The large, stark white spots on the back of his ears, the ocelli, flash with high contrast clarity against the white snow. In the bright daylight, these spots look like a pair of giant, angry, unblinking eyes, locking onto the bear and signaling an immediate, lethal counterstrike. Recognizing the risk of fighting a healthy apex predator, the massive bear backs down, retreating into the forest shadows. With the threat neutralized under the fading afternoon light, the tiger activates his specialized binge and starve reactor. Having fasted for a week, his highly elastic digestive system allows him to gorge down 40 kilograms of raw meat in a single sitting, fueling his internal furnace for the brutal weeks ahead. To ensure not a single scrap of life-saving energy is wasted, he utilizes his razor-sharp tongue, lined with thousands of sharp, backward-facing keratin hooks. His tongue acts as a steel brush, scraping the final remnants of frozen meat, completely clean from the bone. As the sun sets, casting long purple shadows across the snow, the wounded king retreats to a sun-warmed mountain cave. The battle has left deep gashes on his limbs. He curls up in the fading twilight and begins to apply his own biological first aid, coating his injuries with his enzyme-rich saliva. This saliva contains compounds that may help reduce bacterial growth, as well as substances that help protect damaged tissue and support the healing process. The saliva seals the gashes, preventing deadly frostbite necrosis and infection, allowing the lone emperor to rebuild his strength for the coming spring. As the harsh winter sun begins to warm, the frozen grip on the Sicote Alin slowly loosens. The great sheets of river ice crack like distant thunder under the brilliant afternoon sky, signaling the approach of a fragile northern spring. But as the landscape thaws, a new and deeply perilous chapter of survival begins. The survival of the bloodline. For these absolute loners, a meeting is a rare and dangerous gamble. Guided by the persistent lipid pheromones left on sun-warmed pine bark, nomadic male and a resident female cross paths. They share a violent, intense courtship that lasts only a few brief days under the clear blue sky. Then, the illusion of companionship vanishes. The male retreats into his solitary 1,000 square kilometer empire, leaving the female to face the monumental task of creation entirely alone. Through the final bitter months of the freeze, the tigress carries her burden. For 105 days, her internal furnace sustains the hidden life within her. In a secluded rocky den, sheltered from the daylight glare, she gives birth to a small litter of 2 to 4 helpless cubs. Weighing a mere 1 kilogram each, born completely blind and defenseless, these tiny predators enter one of the most hostile environments on Earth. Their survival depends entirely on the strategic brilliance of their mother. As the spring sun coaxes green shoots from the melting snow, the tigress faces an agonizing mathematical trap. Her milk requires immense calories, forcing her to leave the den to hunt under the bright daylight. But every hour she spends tracking Isabir stags in the valley is an hour her cubs are left unprotected. The sunlit forest is full of eyes. Starving Ussuri brown bears, emerging lean and desperate from their winter sleep, search the ridges for an easy meal. Even more terrifying are the nomadic male tigers patrolling the borders. If a rival male discovers the den, he will systematically execute the cubs to force the mother back into breeding readiness. To navigate this minefield of threats, the tigress deploys her biological arsenal. When moving her young to a safer location under the morning sun, she uses the striking white spots on the back of her ears, her ocelli. In the dappled sunlight of the birch forest, these white markers act as visual lighthouses, allowing the cubs to track her footsteps closely through the tall, dry grass without making a sound. Over the next 2 years, under the open northern sky, she will teach them the ancient secrets of the Sicote Aline. They will learn to splay their paws like snowshoes, to walk in her exact footprints to muffle their approach, and to revere the frozen rivers as highways. It is a grueling, exhausting education, where only the strongest 50% will survive to claim their own kingdom. The awakening of spring proves that the Amur tiger is not merely a predator, but the vital keystone holding the entire Sicote Aline ecosystem together. Yet, despite possessing these supreme biological weapons, this northern emperor faces an enemy that his evolution could never prepare him for: the hand of man. Today, while strict anti-poaching measures and the creation of sanctuaries like Beacon National Park have fueled a fragile comeback, their numbers remain dangerously low. Around 750 individuals, including newborn cubs, are clinging to existence in the frozen forests of the Russian Far East. Classified as endangered on the global red list, their entire lineage still hangs by a terrifying thread. The greatest threat does not come from the brutal winter, but from the shadow of human greed. Ruthless poachers continue to infiltrate these sacred woods, driven by an insatiable black market demand. In the name of ancient superstitions and false traditional medicines, human vanity seeks to grind the bones of this majestic ruler into powders and strip his beautiful, disruptive camouflage to decorate luxury floors as status symbols. They dismantle a masterpiece of nature for trophies and ignorance. Protecting the wild borders of the Sikhote Alin is no longer just about saving a single big cat. It is about preserving the soul of the northern wilderness itself. Because if the roar of the Amur tiger falls silent, the entire wheel of time in these ancient forests will grind to a tragic, permanent halt. Thank you for journeying into the harsh depths of nature with us. If you want to uncover more of the extraordinary, bizarre, and beautiful anomalies of our living planet, hit subscribe and join us here at Bio Anomalies. Keep the wild alive.